Hello everyone! Today we're going to be building a 15-gallon tank using the dry start method. This will be the future home for my Neocaridina shrimp. On your right you're going to see the dimensions to the tank. For the setup of our aquarium, we will be using an Astra 20 Nano LED Aquarium Light. It is an 18-watt light that I have used in my previous setups, and I have been successful at growing a variety of plants with this particular light. Coupled with the light, I will be using this timer that I purchased from Home Depot. It will be used to set up automatic light schedules, so it will automatically turn on and off the light whenever I please. Since we're going to be using a double layered setup for our substrate in our aquarium, we are going to be using this window mesh to separate both of the layers from each other. For our gravel, we're going to be using the Aqua Natural aquarium substrate. It is a gravel setup that is a pewter blue. And the second layer that we will be using is this dirt mixture right here. It will be our base layer, which will be used to give all the proper nutrients to our plants. Okay. Now, this is my dirt setup. It is 1 part dirt, 1 part Aquasoil, and 1 part gravel or sand. For the dirt, I use Whitney Farms raised bed mix. It is a great dirt that's really easy and cheap to get. You just have to make sure to sift the dirt before using it and make sure that all the big parts, all the little bark, rocks, come out of it, and you just use the finer pieces. The Aquasoil is fluval stratum, and as for the gravel and sand, you could use whichever you like as long as they're aquarium safe and they're clean before using. I will put a link in the description for the materials that I use to make this dirt setup, and if you like, let me know and I can make a video on how I actually make this blend. Now we're going to prepare the gravel. We're going to pour out about 2 inches worth of gravel into this bucket and get it ready so that we could start rinsing it out. Now we're going to be cleaning up the gravel. We will be using dechlorinated water to remove any of the contaminants that the gravel may have before we add it to the aquarium. This step requires patience. Rinsing out the gravel can take several attempts. As you're going to see here, it's going to take me several times to clean out this gravel. For most gravels, this is normal. You just have to be patient and make sure to rinse everything out before adding to the aquarium. Okay, we're looking good. All I need to do is pour out this water, and then I'm going to let this gravel dry for a little bit, and then we're going to get started on setting up the aquarium. If you have a rimless aquarium, it's a good idea to put a foam base below the aquarium. This one came with one already. However, you could use something like an old yoga mat, or you could just buy some foam from Amazon and just cut it to the shape of your aquarium and put it underneath. If you don't have a rimless, you won't have any problems, but in this case we do, so I'm going to show you how to put it on. You want to give it a good clean before putting on your foam base. Right now I'm just going to use water to clean it up before applying. You got to make sure it's nice and dry once you're done too. Once you are done, you can place the tank on your foam mat. In my case, I have to remove this layer and stick the adhesive side of the foam to the base of the aquarium. Now that we applied the foam base, we're going to put on the light. And I'm probably going to turn it on for the rest of this video just to improve the lighting. You don't have to turn on the light when you're doing these next few steps. Now we're going to add soil. This is going to be our base layer. We're going to add about 1 inch of soil, and then we're going to top that with no more than 1 inch of gravel. Now that we added about 1 inch of soil, I'm going to spray down the soil just so that it remains flat, so that it's ready for the next step. Now I could put the mesh layer that will separate the soil and the gravel. I can now install the gravel layer. As I mentioned before, we are going to add no more than 1 inch of gravel. Next, we're gonna put some plants. I have here a tissue culture of Styrogene repens that I will be growing as part of the dry start method. All these little gels need to be removed before putting the plant into the actual aquarium. It can be a tedious task to remove all the gel from the plants. It tends to get stuck to it, but what I think helps is actually dunking the plants in water. This helps kind of dissolve the gel from the plants and makes it much easier and a bit quicker to get all the gel removed prior to planting the plants into your aquarium. Now we are going to start planting. I use aquascaping tools that I bought on Amazon for $15. My preferred tool from that set are a pair of tweezers with an angled end. It is because of this angle that makes it easier for one to put plants in any substrate. When planting, you should put the plants deep enough where the roots are covered. Don't worry about putting the plants too deep. Putting them not deep enough is worse and where you can actually run into some issues. You can also cover your plants with substrate so that no roots are exposed, and it will help keep your plant upright as well. Once you are done, you can start spraying the plants with some dechlorinated water. Make sure to leave the plants moist so that they have enough moisture before you cover them up. Now you have to cover the tank. This is a key feature for doing a dry start method. The most common thing to use is plastic wrap, which I am currently using here. I actually have to use 2 sheets of plastic wrap because my tank is too big. It's time to move this project to its permanent home. And don't forget to set up your timer. Right now I am setting it from a 7 a.m. to a noon-ish time light turn on, and then from 4 p.m. all the way to about 11 p.m. Now these are really easy to use. I already set the time for my tank up already on this one, but you could unplug, so that would be to turn off or to turn on. Really simple and easy to use, and I 100% recommend it. Plug your light into the timer and turn it on. Thank you everyone for watching. This is part 1 of a shrimp fish tank build. Please stay tuned for the next video. It was my pleasure to show you how to do this, and I hope you stay for the rest of them.